Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the Hypogean hero, Mehira, Mind Cager. So, as we can see, she's an intelligence-based hero whose primary role is to control enemies using her abilities. So this is her appearance and her animations that she'll be using in battle. So let's have a look at her abilities and see what she's all about. So ultimate skill, Mesmerize. Mehira entrances all enemy heroes in front of her, causing them to start attacking each other with their normal attacks. While entranced, enemies will not recover any energy when they are attacking each other. This duration is extended up to 5 seconds, and this can be even further extended using a specific hero. However, I'll explain this later in the video. Her next ability, Whiplash. Mehira uses her whip to deal 120% AoE damage to everyone in front of her, including allies. If this skill inflicts damage upon any of her allies, they will recover 65 points of energy, and their haste will be increased by 40% for 8 seconds. Damage is increased to 125%. 50% of the damage inflicted by the skill is converted into health. And level 4, damage is increased to 130%. Now healing is extremely important for this hero, as this will be crucial when dealing with her enemies. Infatuation deals 60% to a single target enemy and reduces the damage Mehira may receive from the enemy target by 40% for 10 seconds. Simultaneously, Mehira will leech 3% of the enemy's current health in order to restore her own. This duration is increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. Level 3, damage is increased to 80%, and her 30 engravings, Mehira will leech 4% up from 3%. Again, another healing ability. Hellspawn. At the beginning of battle, Mehira will sacrifice 60% of her current health in order to summon 3 minions. This will be identified by an icon on top of Mehira's frame. After returning from an attack, the minions will convert 30% of the damage they inflicted upon enemies back to Mehira as health. Again, another healing ability. And if Mehira receives any fatal damage, she'll sacrifice a minion and heal herself for 25%. As she has 3 minions, this can go all the way up to 75% healing. However, this can't be reused multiple times through the battle. This can only be used 3 times throughout the duration of the battle. Now level 2 and 3, the damage is increased. And level 4, the current amount of health sacrificed is reduced to 30%. This is all the way down from 60%. Now how does this healing tie in? This healing ties in with her signature item. When the 30 signature item is unlocked, if at full health, any excess healing effects from Mehira will be converted into energy. So what this means, this allows Mehira to gain energy extremely quickly, use her ultimate ability, and mind control enemies to attack each other. Essentially, you can permanently stun lock or charm the enemies to attack each other, allowing you to win the battle and claim victory. So the unlock 10 and 20 essentially allows Mehira to gain more health when an allied hero loses health. However, the health that this energy conversion from health to energy is only abilities that Mehira uses herself. So this is Hellspawn, Whiplash, Infatuation, and so on. So if there is a healer in the team, such as Nomura, Saurus, or any ally that provides healing to Nomura, this will not be counted as energy. This will essentially allow Mehira to essentially stay at full health from her allies, and any ability that Mehira uses, this will convert the damage and the healing into energy, allowing her to ult faster. So let's have a look at her furniture. Now her furniture at 3 unlock minions summoned by the Hellspawn. will grow larger after they've initiated 8 attacks. After growing larger, the minions deal damage is increased by 100%, so this is doubled from where they were previously. And when sacrificed by a Mehira, the amount of health she gains from them is increased by 80%. So this growing larger and dealing more damage is initiated after 4 attacks once the 9 of 9 is unlocked. So let's have a look in battle and see how she works. Alright, so now once we're in battle, as you can see, there are the 3 icons that signify that she's using her 3 bats. And as you can see across the screen, there are 3 little bats flying across and attacking random enemies each time. Now, as you can see, the little heart that she uses, that is her infatuation, where she'll take 40% less damage from that specific enemy that she has targeted. Also, she has a whip-like ability, where there will be a giant pink arc that will go across the entire screen. This will essentially give her allies energy and deal damage, a small amount of damage to her allies. However, she'll be able to heal and gain a lot of energy from this ability. Now let's have a look at her ultimate. So essentially she'll cover the entire screen with her pink cloud. There we go. And this forces the enemies to attack each other. So there we go. Another mind control. As you can see, the enemies are hitting each other and not my allies. Now, in some cases, if you can plan this and use it at specific times, you can cancel the enemy's ult animations, abilities, and you can deal a significant amount of damage in this damage window. Now, positioning is crucial for this hero. So one of the best places to put Mehira is back middle, as this allows it to mind control the entire group of enemies. So if she's placed here, she will be able to charm all of these enemies. If she's placed in the top front row, she'll only be able to charm these 3 enemies. If she's placed here, the same is true, the front and the back 2 enemies. However, if, for example, these enemies run towards Mehira, then she'll also be able to use her ability on all of those enemies. However, they have to move into range in order for her to be able to use her charm ability. If she's placed in the bottom, she'll only be able to charm these 2 enemies at the bottom, and the same goes for the top, only the top 2 enemies. Alright, so let's place a couple of allies. There we go. So as we can see, she sacrifices a bit of her health, gains those 3 minions. Now as you can see, she is dealing damage to them and she's being turned around by one of the enemies. So in this case, she'll only be able to charm. That is why she's extremely position specific. As you can see, she can now charm the front as all the enemies are positioned in the front row. Now, another crucial thing, she can easily be countered by enemies such as Grazul, Baden, or Numisu, as they will essentially turn Mehira around, and this will essentially stop the charm from going onto every single one of the enemies. Now, this is crucial when especially planning your formations when fighting the enemies. So it is best to put her up against enemies that don't have a lot of immunities or heroes that can turn Mehira around. So alright, now when you see the statistics, one of the things that you'll see is most of the time she does not deal the most amount of damage, as most of the damage comes from the enemies attacking each other and dealing damage to themselves. Now let's look at campaign and see what she is able to accomplish. Now she can be used at various ascension levels. As you can see from this clear over here, She's used even at elite, so she's extremely powerful at even the elite level. However, the recommended investment in her will be Mythic and 30 SI, and this allows her to essentially fully utilize the healing and energy conversion ability that she has. Now let's have a look at a high deficit clear. So as we can see, she's paired up with a couple of allies. Now what allies benefit her the most? The two allies that are always seen with Mehira are Rowan and Rosaline. Now what these two heroes do, they essentially provide an energy cycle or battery for Mehira. They essentially keep funneling the energy to Mehira, allowing it to ult and mind control the enemies through the entire duration of the fight. Now as we can see from this fight, she can completely mind control the enemies from start to finish for the whole entire 1 minute and 30 seconds just because of these two heroes. Now another hero that is extremely powerful and will benefit her even more is Kazaar. Now he's another Hypogean. However, he, similar to Mehira, needs 30 SI, and what this allows Mehira to do is extend the mind control from 5 seconds to 8 seconds of control effects on the enemies. This essentially gives you a lot more freedom and allows you to essentially beat the enemies no matter what. Because this from 5 to 8 seconds is essentially a small little window that essentially allows your allies to get enough energy and to permanently control the enemies. The reason why getting it to Mythic is also a good idea, as this allows it to survive longer, and this allows it to survive some of the burst encounters that you'll encounter once you progress higher in the campaign. Now, as you can see, the entire fight was mind controlled by Mehira. Now another thing why it is required that she's to be slightly higher ascended is to not get targeted by Thorin's Taint, as this reduces that energy health conversion. Additionally, this allows it to deal more damage, as you saw in this case, where I nearly got timed out because of the enemies, where if she was slightly higher ascended, she'll be able to deal more damage, kill the enemies faster, and win the battle for you much easier. As you can see, she did the most amount of damage. However, this is extremely low amount of damage compared to what the enemies did to themselves. So as we can see, Damon over here did the most damage to his allies and allowed me to claim victory. So if you like this video and you like the hero, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.